Let's explore the use of name values with cdktf. Terraform understands configurations written in either JSON or HCL. Neither supports the notion of named values. For that, Terraform has developed ways to request and publish named values. Python is a programming language with excellent support for named values. It is HashiCorp's recommendation to use Python's native methods. Variables are useful when synthesizing the cdktf application into a JSON file. cdktf comes with the TerraformVariable construct. The use of this construct is identical to the use of HCL's input variables. Okay, let's start by adding a new file here to hold the variables. .py. This one will be custom construct input. So let's define the subclass tfvars, they call it, inherits from the construct. Now we can initialize it with Dante init, passing self, scope, and the ID. Next, initialize the parent class with the scope attacks and the ID. Now we can define a variable. Okay, let's copy value from here for now and paste it. And this is it for now. This is the variables construct. Okay, let's input the construct in here from variables. Input tfvars. Fantastic. Now we can instantiate a tfvars object here, passing self and the ID main. Okay, now we need to rewrite this one. Let's copy it. Again, now replace this with was region. Okay, let's save it and give it a try. Okay, let's check the syntax with cdktf synth and see what will happen now. It worked great. Now we can try to deploy it. Okay, looking promising. No errors so far. Here we go. The plan is ready with all the details. It worked. Let's replace this one with the TerraformVariable construct. First, it has to be imported. cdktf import TerraformVariable. Okay, now it can be used here. Region equals TerraformVariable with what parameters? So the scope and the ID are most likely mandatory. Yes, of course, these are required. Everything else is optional. It is very much like HCL input variables. We're going to use type, description, and the default params. Okay, self with a scope, region for ID, type is a string here, description, and alias region, and the defaults. Let's copy it from here. Okay, let's save. Is there anything to change in the main? tforce is imported already. I've got an object and passed the attribute. Looks okay, we can try it. Let's check for any syntax errors. Okay, we've got an error. Type of argument region must be one of string unknown type. Instead we got cdktf TerraformVariable. Okay. A string is expected here, but instead we've got tforce. Let's see what can be done about it. So TerraformVariable class has this string value property to extract the value as a string. Let's add that string value here and see what will happen. First, let's check for syntax errors with sync. Great, no errors. Okay, next let's try deploy. It looks promising. Here we go, it worked. Value for the input variables can be passed via the var file or via autoloaded configuration files. Let's test the terraform.tf vars. Okay, let's add a file here. Let's see, terraform.tf vars. Now we are going to copy this as an input variable. Next, we can remove the default from here. Okay, let's close it. The expectation, the cdktf will use this value from here. Let's try it. Check syntax. No errors. Can try to deploy it. Deploy. Okay, looks promising. And what have we got here? Main underscore region underscore 7E04C22D. Where is it coming from? Seems like the deployment has got stuck too. Okay, let's interrupt it. What is this var.main underscore thing? So deployment gets stuck because of this var with the prefix and suffix. The main is the name passed to the TFR's constructor. So the prefix is the TFR's ID, and the suffix is the stack ID cdktf appends. We need to override this logical ID. Let's see what TerraformVariable has got to help us with this situation. Here we go. Overrides the auto-generated logical ID with a specific ID. We shall use this method. Okay, let's call the override underscore logical underscore ID to override it with region. See what happens. The intention is to override this logical ID with just region. Let's check this syntax first. Oh mine. We've got an attribute error. It doesn't have this string value property anymore. Okay. Let's try to remove this. Try to cdktf synth again. This time it worked. We can try to deploy. Okay, looks promising. And it worked. Fantastic. To use the Terraform variable, import it, then pass the same params as with the HCL input variables, but override the logical ID to replace the auto-generated ID with prefix and suffix. Then we can call the variable without the string underscore value property. And that is all to it.